with the upcoming release of Hiestin, Cipher, Fanon, I don't know how the fuck to pronounce his name, and Fate collab, I thought this would be the best and the most appropriate time to be making a video such as this. Alrighty then, greetings everybody, welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video, and for today's video we're going to be talking about and discussing who should you guys be pulling for or skipping in the upcoming two patches, those patches being 3.3 and 3.4, right? And without, looking into anything, I just want to say this, frame one off the bat, rerun characters, or the ones that we know of, the easiest skips of your life. Unless you like them, those characters on like a personal or story level, then whatever, you do you. But if you're just an average player or a meta slave, dude, just don't bother. I got a fucking yawn. I'm so sorry, bro. Oh, God. This isn't happening so much, and it's holy crap. I low-key think I'm sleep deprived, right? But please excuse me. And I gotta yawn again. One sec. Fuck, bro. Okay. What was I saying? Okay, yeah. So Ugly and the Herda are going to be the upcoming 3.3 rerunning characters, and I just heavily advise you to skip both of them, especially Ugly. Again, unless you like them, then you do you. But if that's not the case, the easiest skips in HSR history. So now let's go with Hiestin and then Cipher. And I do want to say this, I'm not going to be going over their kits in depth, just giving over a really quick gloss, things that you need to know about their kits, the more important parts, and that's about it. God, I gotta fucking yawn again. Hold on. I'm gonna do a cut. Okay, we're back. Holy shit balls, bro. I just fucking farted and then yawned after that. But yeah, so Hiestin, she's gonna be a remembrance character that so happens to be a HP support. I mean, just a support for HP teams, right? Which is very funny because this remembrance path isn't really restricted to one category, aka being like a DPS or support. They're anything. As long as you throw in a fucking memo sprite or whatever it's called, then they can be whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if they get a remembrance character that so happens to be a preservation or acts like a preservation or abundant, I mean not abundance, or harmony character, right? But whatever. Yeah, so Hiestin is just very good for HP scaling teams. That's perfect for castorice, Maide, and we don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure with the blade buffs coming, what are the buffs? I have no idea, right? But I could only assume that the buffs will definitely help blade be meta. And if you're a blade main, you know who you are. I'm referring to specifically one guy out there. Hiestin is perfect, just perfect for a blade. And on top of that, Hiestin is just perfect for just any team in general. She's a sustain. I was trying to find that word. She's a sustain. So sustains are obviously really fucking good, and I mean I'm gonna go for it. It's the easiest pull ever. I haven't pulled for a sustain since patch 1.6 when Ho came out. I'm desperate, right? But yeah, she's really good. I heavily advise anybody to pull for her if you're lacking a sustain, can't clear MOC, or you just want to buff up your castorice teams. Now then, Cipher. Cipher is an interesting one because she's a nihility character, and the main issue with that is that when Hoyoverse are releasing nihility characters, they have to keep in mind of these two characters, Kafka and Acheron. And with Kafka's buffs coming like right around the corner, they really gotta make sure that they're paying attention to those things, because Acheron, if you're unaware, one of Acheron's kits, or her main part of her kit, is that she requires 2 nihility characters, right? And usually that wouldn't be an issue, but with the release of JQ, well, there's the issue. Now, depending on how Hoyoverse wants or how broken Cipher is, she might be a genuine replacement for JQ or not. But on top of that, we have Silverwolf's buffs that are just around the corner as well. So because of all these factors, I really just don't think that Cipher is a good pool. Like I really don't. I feel like Cipher, and it sucks saying that because I love her design, but I am low-key a meta slave, and I don't have the fun to just casually spend money and getting a character like that. So I definitely do advise anybody to just skip Cipher. She might be better for E2 acheron. Maybe I'm just gonna say no as of right now, because I mean she has shoot damage in her ultimate. She's a sub DPS, and she seems like she would want to be a little more on the faster side. But I just don't see it. She might be good in facial teams, that's for sure. But if that's not the case, if you're not maxing your damage, or if you don't want to, then I just heavily advise you guys to skip. Cipher doesn't seem like the best character until we get more information on maybe the character buffs and the future characters. I just don't see a reasoning. Now then, Finon and Fate. Holy shit, this is very interesting because Finon is most likely going to be a DPS, right? Destruction. Wait, is he destruction? Hold on, I fucking forgot. Let me go check. Okay, I just checked. He's destruction. We're getting 2 destruction characters, Finon and Saber, and then there's Archer, who is our first quantum male, right? But Finon is most likely going to be a really meta breaking character, since I mean it's Finon, right? He's the reincarnation, or the other, whatever the fuck it's called, of Kevin, if that's even his name. I'm probably butchering that wrong. I don't know much about Honkai Impact 3rd, but from what I know, he's supposed to be a reincarnation or something of a very popular character from Honkai Impact 3rd, meaning he's probably going to be very fucking busted, right? And obviously Fate, if you're a huge Fate fan, that I mean, boom, Saber is coming, and she's another destruction character. she's most likely gonna be broken as well. I mean, I hope so. Hoyoverse doesn't ruin another collab. They're most likely they most likely won't. But with Fate around the corner, I mean, it's very iffy, because if you're unaware, for the Fate banner, specifically for the Fate banner, pity from the previous banners won't be carried on to Fate. Meaning, let's say if you're right like below 5-star pity to getting a 5-star, that doesn't carry on into Fate. It's kind of like a reset. So Fate, you know, the banner pulling might be a little more harsh, and there is no way to cheese it. So just keep that in mind if you want to pull for literally all of the above. Just remember that Fate, the pity system, or the banner pity, that it doesn't carry on, right? I'm probably saying this very poorly, and if I am, I'm so sorry. Somebody might explain that better than me in the comments, right? But that's from what I read, that's how it works, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna be pulling for both of them. I'm probably gonna be pulling for everybody besides Cipher. Very dependent. I don't know much. I mean, fan on maybe, right? But I'm gonna give my honest opinions about both of them. I heavily do advise you guys to start saving up right now, especially if you're gonna be pulling for the Fate collab, because of the way that pity is gonna be in that not pity, how the banner is gonna work, right? And Finon, I mean, he's really cool. It's probably going to be broken, so you know, just definitely keep in touch with a lot of other sources that might give you more information regarding the characters, right? And right now, from what I could say, follow what your heart says regarding Finon and Fate, right? But with Cipher and Hiestin, I could definitely say Cipher is probably another easy skip, and Hiestin, very dependent on what your box has. I usually say whenever I do these videos once in the blue moon, look at your box, and your box is going to tell you what you need, or just follow your heart. I'm not your dad, I can't really tell you what the fuck to do. But with all that being said, if you like this type of content, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And yeah, see ya. Thank you so much for the views.